Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 14th of November for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to outline the collective energies that are going to impact upon us all, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces in much greater detail. Now, the Sun continues in the sign of Scorpio this week, but Mercury and Venus are going to be leaving this sign and moving into the sign of Sagittarius, triggering the first blush of Sagittarius season, which of course we'll pick up furthermore next week when the Sun arrives in the sign of the Archer too. But the significance of Mercury and Venus moving together is that I feel that it's going to be a much freer energy that they bring in. But that's not going to be particularly apparent right at the start of this week, because on Monday, Saturn is obstructing or blocking or inhibiting the energy of the Sun. And of course, the intensity of that total lunar eclipse of the 8th of November continues to pour its energy into all our circumstances in a very disruptive way, particularly around our sense of values, our connections, our sense of self-worth, but also around money. So the transition of Mercury and Venus into Sagittarius can bring some levitation. But of course, technically, Mercury is debilitated in the sign of Sagittarius, but I think it's one of the weakest debilitations. And in fact, I feel that Mercury can thrive in this sign, despite being opposite Gemini, which it governs, squaring Virgo, which it also governs, and of course in a square with Pisces, where it's also detrimented. So we have an opportunity to use the knowledge of Sagittarius and the thinking and the intellect of Mercury in order to transform our situation. So information is going to be important. But with Venus in the mix as well, when it comes to our relationships or even our attitude to money, the truth of our situations is vital. So the higher truth. We've been going through such an intense period collectively, and the quarter moon, which occurs on Wednesday in the sign of Leo, rather emphasizes the dilemmas that we have. You know, at some level we want to enjoy, we want to connect, we want to mix and mingle, but we've had to become much more aware of some very powerful and intense energies which have not been particularly easy. But you know, through the prism of intensity, there can also be the alchemy of positivity. And that happens this week from Tuesday through to Sunday, when the Sun forges an awesome link to Pluto. So if we can see where change can be a good thing and we embrace it and don't resist it, then our circumstances can really be changed in a very positive way. Also, the Sun from Thursday through to Sunday is in a terrific link with Jupiter, of course, now travelling forwards in the other sign it governs of Pisces. So this water trine is wonderful for letting emotions flow in a positive way. Also, Jupiter and Pluto are in a sextile all week, which is one of the most potentially fortunate of all planetary influences. It is true that Mars continues to retrograde. It is true it continues to be in a square with the equally retrograding Neptune. And so information can continue to be distorted, or it can be tricky to really get to the nub of certain matters. But I think generally this is a week that can see us opening up a little bit, or trying to make the most of the scorpionic energies which have been so powerful recently, because obviously Pluto is the ruler, the modern ruler of the sign of Scorpio, and that's like a lightning rod to both the Sun in Scorpio and of course also to Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. So if we're open to evolution, transformation, moving forwards, then the bubbly, bright and very sociable conjunction between Venus and Mercury can bring some levitation to bear. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand what year 2023 will hold for you personally, please check out my special package, which gives you the rest of this year free in terms of the forecast, all of 2023, but based on your time, date and place of birth. This information completely unique to you, as will be your chart. And in my package with 30% off, you can also get your life roadmap, your character analysis, which can help you to understand some repeating patterns in your life, but also seize opportunities with greater conviction. Please see the link below. And if you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. But if you'd like to leave any comments and interact with me, I try very hard to answer all of them, so please feel very welcome to do that. And to all my ongoing viewers, thank you so much for all your support. So Gemini, your week commencing the 14th of November forecast sees Mars in your sign continue to be compromised by the potentially draining energies of Neptune. It's almost like the things that you really want to get going for yourself personally and individually have had to be more recently offset against some pressing everyday realities, perhaps around the structure, the demands, the obligations. Perhaps it's also been to do with your physical vitality, has just been impacted by a degree of stress or nervous tension that's come from that total lunar eclipse. But this week does bring some potential magic. It's true that the quarter moon says to you, 3-6, not to try to do too much too quickly, to prioritize and focus on the things that are really important and keep it narrow. But the transition midweek of Venus and then your ruler Mercury into your opposite sign can start to bring some more encouraging feedback, messages, connections to others, which can be really very pleasing. Also, the practicality of the sun in the 6th house is linking very well with Jupiter in your sector of success. So if you have wanted to go for a new opportunity professionally or to push forwards with your business, but you haven't quite had the wherewithal to do it, now things can start to fall into place. Also, Jupiter's forging an awesome link with Pluto. So financially, obviously the headwinds for us all are quite considerable, but you may be able to pick a path through this and see opportunities. And the Sun's transitional angle to Pluto also very good, because this can help you to see what's really important, focus on that in detail, and that in itself can see you make progress. So I think after a really tough few weeks, potentially, you're going to climb out of that this week. And certainly in terms of relationships, this can be a time to find greater accord, meet people in the middle. If you're looking for a more romantic connection, having Venus and Mercury moving through your opposite sign in the run-up to the festive season is certainly a very nice state of affairs indeed.